Well, here we are again. We are going on a little trip. Last time we were here, we were talking about the holy places, and we went to Cyprus. This is Cyprus here. Now, we are now going to go from Cyprus to a place called Ephesus. Here, Ephesus. E-P-H-E-S-U-S. Now, I think anybody from Taiwan who has been to Turkey has probably been to Ephesus, because Ephesus is a very important place. And the reason why is Ephesus so important? Ephesus is very important because we are now on the west coast of Turkey. It's called the west coast of Turkey now. But of course, not too long ago, this was divided into many kingdoms. Turkey was divided into many little kingdoms. I think basically Alexander and other people, and gradually the Turks, Turkoman, T-U-R-K-S. And the Turkoman, they came from Asia. I think the Chinese said goodbye, go away. I think the Chinese people kicked them out. 好像中国人把 Turkoman 赶走了，所以他们跑到土耳其了。Okay, so the same as there's Xinjiang. So the Turks came from Asia, and they came to Turkey, T-U-R-K-E-Y. But so Turkey is a very interesting place. Many civilizations. I think the Mongols came here, the Romans came here, the Byzantine people came here, the many different kinds of civilizations, they came to Turkey. And so when we go to Turkey, we are plunging 意思说跳进去的 into a sea of civilizations. 我们是跳在一个海里面的文明，各种的文明。可能的最重要的特质是什么？是天主教，就是 Catholics. Because maybe we are not aware of the fact, A-W-A-R-E, 不一定，可能的我们不知道。Turkey for 1,000 years was Catholic. 你可以说土耳其有差不多1000多年都是天主教的国家。Now it's Muslim, M-U-S-L-I-M, 回教徒. But originally all of Turkey was Catholic. Well, not all of Turkey, but anyway, it was a Catholic country. And here, all over Turkey, there were thousands of Catholic churches. Literally thousands. 在全部的土耳其有好几千的天主教的教堂，差不多一千年。And then gradually, different invasions, and now we know that the Turks, particularly the Ottomans, the Ottoman Empire, they came from Asia, and they gradually invaded here, the Turks, and then the most important was the Ottomans, O-T-T-O-M-A-N-S, the Ottomans. Okay, so they were the Ottoman Empire, which is many hundred years, and they came here, and actually they were up here. The most important place they had here was a place called Bursa, B-U-R-S-A, here, and on the west coast of Turkey, the Ottomans. And the Ottomans, the name Ottoman comes from a famous Ottoman, I think it's Osman. So the Ottoman Empire, 那个 Ottoman 的帝国的名称，是因为有一个很重要的Ottoman 的将军， he was called Osman, so they called the Ottoman Empire. So the Ottoman Empire, we can say, made this country, Turkey, gradually become Muslim. But originally, 但是原来都是天主教徒，这是天主教的地方。And again, another reason why, if we go further south here, from Izmir, this is called Izmir here, right down to the south here, here, this was a very important place in the history of religion and the history of civilizations. This was called Iona, I-O-N-I-A, from Izmir, Dona, I-O-N-I-A. This was all Greek. So the beginning of the Greek civilization, in a way, you can say, comes from Turkey, comes from the west coast of Turkey. 我们可以说的那个希腊的文化重要的也是从土耳其的西方来的。下一个地方叫 Ionia, I-O-N-I-O. Ionia were many cities because they were Greek colonies. 他们是希腊的殖民地的。And they came from Greece, and they came to the west coast of Turkey. 他们是从希腊来的，跑到土耳其的 the west coast. Why did they go to Turkey? Because 3,000 years ago, 因为3000年以前 the Dorians, D-O-R-I-A-N-S, invaded Greece. 有这个民族叫 Dorian. 他们 because Greece is here, and the Dorians came here from the north. They invaded Greece, and 他们侵略这个 Dorian 的文明，他侵略希腊啊，结果他们那些希腊人跑到这个地方 Ionia, and they became Greek colonies. 他们都是希腊的殖民地。So they settled here, and over more than 1,000 years, they lived there. In fact, they lived there until about 100 years ago. And so a lot of the Greek ideas and civilization came from this Ionia. And gradually we get a clearer map. We can see all these cities. For example, Troy. You see, Troy is up here. We all know the story of Troy, T-R-O-Y. T-R-O-Y. You know the story of Ulysses and the Greek Homer, the blind poet. I guess Chimi is a Homer, H-O-M-E-R. He was Homer. He came. This is Troas. Troas is not Troy. T-R-O-R-Y was up here. So Troy, very near this place called Troas, and we can go there. So Troy is so we can see this whole west coast of Turkey is absolutely heaving. Heaving, what does heaving mean? Heaving means like this, hendor, heaving, H-E-A-V. It's just full of relics of civilizations, of stories, of parables, etc. So we could go on about this Ephesus. Ionia is just unbelievable what has come out from Ionia. The philosophers, for example, just to mention one, if you go to this place, Ephesus, and you take a car and you drive south from Ephesus about maybe an hour or so, I can't remember, there's a place called Miletus, M-I-L-E-T-U-S, M-I-L. Miletus was, Miletus is一个城, and Paul, actually, Paul visited Miletus, but anyway, there's a place called Miletus. And 2,500 years ago, in Miletus was full of philosophers and thinkers. 它有很多的哲学家和知识分子的, and maybe one of the most important of them was called Thales. T-H-A-L-L-E-S. T-H-A-L-L-E-S. That's 2,500 years ago, just south of Ephesus. He was the first man, the most important man, because until 2,500 years ago, everything, we were told that we are today what we are because of the sun and the moon and the gods, and all these things influence us. So originally, all people, Taiwan included, they believe, why am I sick today? Or because this God does not like me. Why am I rich? Because this God does this. Why am I unhappy? Oh, I'm unhappy because this God. So they attributed, 他们说的每一个情况在这个世界都是神，太阳的神原来都是靠神我们人没办法，他就是靠这是神。But in Miletus, this guy, this guy, Thales, Thalles, he began to think. He said, this year we will have a good vintage. 这个今年我们的葡萄会很好。他会算，是因为为什么？因为下雨的，还有太阳，他会算，不是因为有神。这个今天那个橄榄 the olives today will be very good. Why? Not because of the God. They say, it's because of the weather. And so he began to give, he could say he began humanism, Humanism. So up to Thales, you could say the whole universe was God-centered. Everybody said, it's God. Why do they do this? God. Why do they do this? God. Why do this? God. Why this? God. But Thales said, no. He said, it's because of the weather is very hot, or because maybe some other physical reason. So he began to question the religion. 他开始怀疑宗教，可以说是，他说，所以我们要分得很清楚 ，religion 是宗教。Superstition 是迷信 ，superstition 迷信 ，superstition superstition. So many people they cannot make a distinction. They say, is it religion or superstition or custom? So if we say, for example, we worship God, we worship the sun, and then one day we discover the sun is not a god, so then you say, okay, no gods. So we have to use our minds. So, but this guy, Thales, he began the idea of saying, it's all superstition, 都是迷信，只有科学理性告诉你这么做。So he began this idea of humanism. So obviously, what we all know, the many Greek philosophers, they began thinking about these problems. So they're very near Ephesus, because now we are going to go to Ephesus, to visit Ephesus, and so Ephesus was influenced by what they called the Milesian philosophers. They came from Miletus. They influenced us. So it was a very important area. So one of the reasons why we're going to this is because it's so important, but also because originally there's a book come out. It's called The Acts of the Apostle, 宗徒大事录 and 宗徒大事录 is about a man called Paul, Paul. And you can see here, the guy was traveling all over the place. He's 2,000 years ago. He traveled all over the place here. And he stayed sometime in Ephesus. And in Ephesus, he was preaching. 他是可以说是第一个天主教的重要的传教士，就是保禄 Paul, Paul. And he came to Ephesus. So that's why, one of the reasons why we must get the background. We can understand Ephesus was a very important place. It was in Ionia, so there were many intellectuals. It was the capital of the Middle East, you could say, the capital of that part of Turkey. All this, the Romans made it a capital. It was, at the time of Paul, it had a population of about 250,000. 250,000 people lived in Ephesus. There was one of the 7 wonders of the world. 那个时候以前他们说7个最了不起的地方7个之一 was at Ephesus. One of the 7 wonders of the world. The 7 wonders of the world. WONDERS. The 7 wonders of the world, it was the 最了不起的事情是7个之一. Well, and what was it? Well, originally in Turkey there was a fertility goddess. Okay, well, we've come to the fertility goddess. It's a pity we have to stop here. Next time we'll talk about 这个非我的女神。希望你可以我们来一起研究这个问题哈。